On July 2, 1937, the most famous pilot in the world flew into radio silence and vanished from the face of the Earth. No wreckage, no bodies, no confirmed trace ever found. And in September 2025, nearly 90 years later, the United States government ordered the last of its classified files on her disappearance to finally be released. This is the story of Amelia Earhart and the mystery that a presidential order couldn't fully solve, even decades later. By 1937, Amelia Earhart was already a legend. The first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic, a record breaker, a household name. But she wanted one more milestone, the one no pilot, man or woman, had ever completed, a flight around the world along the longest possible route, following the equator. Alongside her navigator, Fred Noonan, a skilled former Pan American pilot, Earhart set out from Miami in June 1937. Together they crossed South America, Africa, India, and Southeast Asia, one grueling leg at a time, closing in on the final, most dangerous stretch of the journey. On July 2nd, they took off from Lae, New Guinea, bound for a speck of land in the middle of the Pacific called Howland Island. It was barely 2 feet above sea level, 6,000 feet long, and over 2,500 miles away. There was no room for error. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca waited near Howland, in radio contact to guide the plane in. As the hours passed, Earhart's voice crackled through, increasingly tense. She reported they must be close, but couldn't see the island. Fuel was running low. At 7:42 in the morning, her voice came through one final time, clear enough for everyone aboard the Itasca to understand exactly how dire things had become. She said they were flying at 1,000 feet, running low on fuel, and unable to hear any response. The ship tried desperately to answer, "If mysteries like this keep you hooked, hit subscribe now, because Hidden Origins uncovers a new one every week." Then silence. No further transmissions were ever received. Somewhere over the vast, empty Pacific, Earhart and Noonan simply disappeared. What followed was the largest air and sea search in American history to that point. Navy ships and aircraft combed thousands of square miles of open ocean for over 2 weeks. They found absolutely nothing. No wreckage, no oil slick, no bodies, nothing at all. The official conclusion was straightforward, if unsatisfying. The plane had likely run out of fuel and ditched into the ocean, sinking quickly into water miles deep. Case closed, at least officially. But not everyone accepted that explanation, and evidence over the following decades kept the mystery alive. Years later, researchers from a group called Tijhar proposed an alternate theory, that Earhart and Noonan, unable to find Howland, turned south instead, eventually reaching a remote, uninhabited coral island called Gardner Island. Expeditions there have recovered intriguing fragments, pieces of aluminum aircraft debris, and personal items, though nothing has ever been definitively confirmed as belonging to Earhart's plane. For decades, government records related to her final flight remained partially classified, fueling decades of speculation, from simple mechanical failure to Japanese capture to far more elaborate theories involving espionage. In September 2025, officials finally ordered the remaining classified files fully declassified and released to the public, reigniting public fascination with a case many assumed had already told its full story. So what really happened in those final hours over the Pacific? Did Earhart and Noonan sink quickly beneath the waves exactly where the official record says? Did they survive, stranded on a remote island, waiting for a rescue that never came? Nearly 90 years later, despite newly released records, nobody can say for certain. And until definitive wreckage is found, Amelia Earhart's final flight remains one of aviation's greatest and most enduring unsolved mysteries.